Dear students, this is lecture number 3 of week 2 for second term. Today we are going to complete unit number 1, physical quantities and measurement. Now we would discuss and solve the questions and exercise of unit number 1. So let's start with questions at page number 24. Let's first talk about the MCQs. Here, question number 1.1, encircle the correct answers from the given choices. Number 1, first MCQ is the number of base units in SI means System International are 7 base units. Number 2, which one of the following unit is not derived unit? What is the answer? Kilogram, because Pascal, Newton and watt are derived units. So the correct answer is B. Question number 3. Amount of a substance in terms of a numbers is measured in D. Mole. MCQ number 4. An interval of 200 microsecond is equivalent to, the correct option is C, 2 times 10 to the power minus 4 second. Students, how to do it? Let me write here 200 micro. Micro, you know, micro is a prefix. It is 10 to the power minus 6 second. And when we convert this 200 into a scientific notation, we have to plot this point which lies at the end here. So how many positions you have to taken this decimal sign, decimal point towards left? 2. So it would be written as 2.00 times 10 to the power plus 2, and there is already 10 to the power minus 6. So if you simplify these 10 parts, as you know, if bases are same, then parts are added up. So we would be having 2 times 10 to the power plus 2 minus 6 minus 4 second. So hopefully you understand. Here we talked about prefixes, micro, and how to convert a given notation into a scientific notation, and also there's a arithmetic concept. So in 4, the correct option is C. Now come to the part number 5. Here in part 5, which one of the following is the smallest quantity? So smallest quantity is D, 5000 nanogram. So let's make it clear. 5000. Nano is a prefix. This N stands for nano, and its numerical value is 10 raised to power minus 9. Okay, so 5000 can be written in scientific notation as 5.000 into 10 to the power plus 3, as we have taken the decimal point towards left 3 places, and 10 to the power minus 9 is already there. So if we simplify, the result would be 5 times 10 to the power minus 6 gram. And in prefix notation, This 10 minus 6 is the micro. This is the micro symbol. This is actually the Greek letter mu. So if you compare this 5 microgram with 0.01 gram in part 5, 2 milligram or 100 microgram. So least one is the 5 microgram as we just found out here. So the correct answer is D. Now part 6. Which instrument is the most suitable measure the internal diameter of a test tube? So here the option is vernier calipers. Next, number 7. A student claimed the diameter of a wire as 1.032 centimeter using vernier calipers. Up to what extent do you agree with it? So the correct answer is C, 1.03 centimeter. It is because the least count of vernier calipers is 0.01 centimeter. So how many digits are there after decimal? 2 digits. So we would be sure up to 2 decimal digits for the given measurement. So that's why C is the correct option. Part 8. A measuring cylinder is used to measure volume. Next, number 9. A student noted the thickness of a glass sheet using a screw gauge. On the main scale, it reads 3 divisions, while 8th division on the circular scale coincides with the index line. Its thickness is, what is the result? It is B, 3.08. How is it? As we talked about in previous lectures, that for finding the final or total result, we require main scale reading plus vernier scale reading. So main scale reading is 3, and how to get vernier scale reading? By multiplying coinciding division with the least count of the screw gauge. And what was that? 0.01 millimeter. So 3 plus 0.03. Here the correction is made. The 8th division is coinciding. So here for having this, again it's a circular scale reading. Again, please kindly note it down. So main scale reading plus circular scale reading. So main scale reading is directly obtained from here, and circular scale reading is obtained by multiplying this 8th division, which is coinciding with the index line. So multiply this 8 with the least count of the screw gauge. So we would be having 3 plus 0.08, and upon summing, finally we get 3.08 millimeter. So this is how we can measure any small object length with the help of screw gauge. So dear students, number 10. Significant figures in an expression are, as we define the significant figure as, the correct option is C, all the accurately known digits and the first doubtful digit. So in part 10, the correct option is C, which is basically the definition of a significant figure. So dear students, let's encircle the correct option. In first, the option is C. In second, the option is B. In third, the option is D. In fourth, the option is C. In fifth, the option is D. In sixth MCQ, the option is B. In seventh, the option is C. In eighth, the option is C. In 9, the option is B. And in 10 MCQ, the option is C. Question number 1.2, we talked about it a lot of times, the difference between base quantities and derived quantities. So here I have added a simple definition with examples. Base quantities are the quantities on the basis of which other quantities are expressed. For example, here examples are given: length, mass, electric current, intensity of light, and so on and so forth. Similarly, derived quantities, the quantities that are expressed in terms of base quantities are called derived quantities. For example, area, volume, speed, etc., etc. Question number 1.3. Here we have to choose base units, and this is the base unit, kilogram. Mole is the base unit, ampere is the base unit, meter is the base unit, and Kelvin is the base unit. In question 1.4, find the base quantities involved in each of the following derived quantities. So in speed, speed is equal to length divided by time. So length and time are the quantities which are involved in speed. Similarly, volume is equal to length times length, mean cubic of length. So only one quantity length is involved, but with multiple 3 times. Now force is equal to mass times acceleration. This is the formula which we will be talking about in next chapters. The unit of mass is kilogram, and area is expressed in mass is involved. Similarly, the unit of area, this acceleration is, this A is for the acceleration, meter per second. So mass is involved, length is involved, and time is involved. Okay. Similarly, for work equal force times distance, and the quantities involved in force we just talked about here: mass, length, and time, and also the distance is measured in length, meters. So again, 3 quantities are involved in work. Dear student, this is very interesting question. Estimate your age in seconds. And for the sake of doing this question, suppose the age is 15 years, and we are express this 15 years into seconds. So first of all, let's multiply 15 with 365, because there are 365 days are in 1 year. So years are converted to days, 5475 days. Then we are to convert these days into hours. And how to get it? Multiply the days with 24, because there are 24 hours in 1 day. So we would be having this much hours. Okay, now we are to convert the hours into seconds. by simply multiplying with 60, because there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. We get this result. And finally, minutes are expressed in seconds by multiplying minutes with 60, because there are 60 seconds in 1 minute. And finally, we get this much seconds. So these are the seconds which are equal to 15 years. So we have converted years into seconds. Question 1.6. What role of SI units have played in development of science? It can be justified by a number of arguments. For example, number one, the SI unit used all over the world. SI units are standards, and these are used and can be understood throughout the globe by all communities of science. Number two, manipulation in this system is quite easy. That is, the multiples and submultiples of different units are obtained simply by multiplying or dividing with 10 or powers of 10. So there are two main points are discussed. One is the universal or standardization, which is obtained throughout the globe, and second is the convenience in the conversion of the SI units. Question number 1.7. What is meant by Vernier constant? Vernier constant is also termed as least count of the Vernier. Again, we talked about it earlier. The difference between one small deviation in main scale and one Vernier scale is 0.1, or it can also be defined as least count of the Vernier calipers is obtained by dividing smallest reading on main scale and number of deviation on Vernier scale. So smallest deviation on main scale is 1 millimeter, and total number of deviations on Vernier scale are 10, so 0.1. So hence least count is either 0.1 millimeter, and if we convert it into centimeters, it is 0.01 centimeters. Next, question 1.8. What do you understand by zero error? And the concept of zero error is very visual and straightforward. Here, for example, if you note this meter, then this needle which actually this is actually pointer, it should be in line with this zero, but as it is not aligned with this zero, so there is a zero error. And zero errors in Vernier calipers and screw gauge we talked about in the previous lecture. Here you see that as the zero of the Vernier is just in line with the zero of the main scale, so there is no zero error. And here there is a positive zero error because zero of the Vernier is towards the right side of the main scale, and here the zero error is negative because this zero of the Vernier is on left side of the zero of the main scale. Similarly, in case of screw gauge, here there is no zero error because this circular scale zero is just coincides with the zero of the main scale or index line. But in case of B, there is a positive zero error because zero is behind the index zero, main scale zero. And in case of C, it's a negative zero error because zero is just cross the zero of the main scale. Dear students, as you come to know that physics is the science of measurements, and in physics we mostly measure physical quantities. So 1.9 question is regarding the why is the use of the zero error necessary in measuring instruments. So when making some kind of scientific measurements, it is necessary to first check your instrument for zero. That is, your measuring instrument, for example, Vernier calipers, screw gauge, stopwatch, etc., should have no zero error, then your rating would be corrected. So that's why noting the zero error of measuring instrument is very necessary. Otherwise, you may get a wrong measurement. Question number 1.10. What is stopwatch? What is the least count of a mechanical stopwatch you have used in laboratory? So first of all, what is stopwatch? A stopwatch is used to measure the time interval of an event. And there are two kinds of stopwatches as you would study in your course book, mechanical and digital. As shown in the following figures, 1.7 it's a mechanical stopwatch, and in figure 1.8 it's a digital stopwatch. A mechanical stopwatch can measure time interval up to a minimum 0.1 seconds. So 0.1 second is the least count of mechanical stopwatch. Here I added it extra because it is not asked in the question, but for the more clarity, digital stopwatches commonly used in laboratories can measure a time interval as small as 1/100 seconds or 0.01 seconds. Dear students, please note a point here. If we compare these two stopwatches and it is asked that which stopwatch, either mechanical or digital, is more precise. So in this case, digital stopwatch is more precise as compared to mechanical. Why is it so? So precision is regarding or relating to least count. So any device which is having lower least count are more precise. As we just saw, the digital stopwatches are having 0.01 second as a least count, and mechanical stopwatches are having 0.1 second as a least count. So digital stopwatch is more precise than mechanical stopwatch. Question number 1.11. Why do we need to measure extremely small interval of time? In particularly atomic physics and nuclear physics, we seldom require extremely small intervals of time. For example, the vibration of atom and the nuclear reactions are so fast and are occurring in very small interval of times. That's why we seldom require extremely small interval of times in these sort of domains of physics. Again, 1.12, what is meant by significant figures in measurement? We have been talking about it a number of times. So here is the definition. All the accurately known digits and the first doubtful digit in an expression are called significant figures. And we also learned different rules for significant figures in the previous lectures. In this question 1.13, how is precision is related to significant figures? So significant figures reflect the precision of measured value of a physical quantity. More significant figure means greater precision. For the sake of taking example, suppose a measurement is having numerical value 2.2 centimeter. Here there are two significant figures. And if we take another example, 3.4 centimeter, 2.34 centimeter, as this expression is having three significant figures. So if we compare the precision of the measurement, then we say that as this numerical value, this measurement having more significant figures, so it is more precise as compared to this one. It has three significant figures and it has two significant figures. Now dear students, it's a turn for problems starting from page 25. Problem number 1.1, express the following quantities using prefixes. Here there are 4 parts and the answers are given here. So I solved just a part. Here you are having 5,000 gram. This 5000 can also be written as 5 into 1000, and this 1000 is in a prefix form, can be written as 5 times 10 to the power 3, and this 10 to the power 3 value is the prefix known as kilo, so we can write it as 5 kg. Similarly, this B is expressed like this, mega, because mega is 10 to the power 6. This value is expressed in this fashion. Here micro is 10 to the power -6, and finally this value is expressed by this D option. Here again micro is 10 to the power -6. You can transfer this B and C in this fashion, so you can understand how to convert any ordinary value into a prefix notation. Problem 1.2. How do the prefixes micro, nano and pico relate to each other? As we know, micro is 10 to the power -6, nano is 10 to the power -9, and pico is 10 to the power -12. So relation can be established in a number of ways. For example, micro 10 to the power -6, nano is 10 to the power -9, so it can be broken down into 10 to the power -6 times 10 to the power -3, and here we see that 10 to the power -, here please note this 10 to the power -6 and 10 to the power -3 is milli. It can be written as MILLI. So we have related a nano as 10 to the power -6 milli. Similarly, this pico is having 10 to the power -12, as you saw here. So 10 to the power -12 is broken down into 10 to the power -6 times 10 to the power -6, and 10 to the power -6 is retained here, and this second 10 to the power -6 is actually micro. So in this way we can have a relationship between micro, nano and pico. Dear student, this question number 1.3 is very interesting here, and it can be very applicable. Your hair grow at the rate of 1 millimeter per day. Find the growth rate in nanometer per second. So let's solve it. Growth rate of hair we are to have in nanometer per second. So it is given that the growth rate is 1 millimeter per day. Then we are to convert a day into second. How to get it? Growth rate of air in 1 day equal 24, or multiply with 60 and then 60, so that the 1 day is converted to seconds. Okay, then it is given that 1 millimeter per day. So 1 millimeter, millimeter 10 to the power -3 per minute divided by, and we have just calculated a number of seconds in 1 day equal 24 times 60 times 60. So this is numerator, and this much second are there in 1 day. Then upon 1 by 8400 we get this much value, and if we convert this value into tons per, we have to take this point here. So how many steps we have jumped towards right? 8 steps. That's why we can write it 1157 into 10 to the power -8. And now we are to change it into a nano. So here 11.57 is written here, and 10 to the power -3 is broken down into 10 to the power -2 and 10 to the power -1, and that 10 to the power -1 is added with 10 to the power -8 equal 10 to the power -9. So 11.57 divided by 10 power 2, we get 11.57, and this is the nano prefix. That's why the result is 1 millimeter per day equal 11.57 nanometer per second. So we have converted a growth rate from 1 millimeter per day to nanometer per second. In question 1.4, we are to rewrite the values in a standard form. So these are the 4 parts, questions, and these are the answers. So let's do one part for clarification. Let's take this A. Here we are having 1168 times transfer minus 27. And now where does the point lie here? At the end here. So take it to after one non-zero value. So how much steps we have jumped towards left? 3. So we can write it 1.168 times transfer plus 3, and transfer minus 27 is already there. So if you simplify this transfer power, 1.168 times transfer minus 27 plus 3 minus 24. So this is the result. So there is a very straightforward and easy way to get the standard form. So you can do the part B, C and D yourself for making more clear, so that you can understand this concept. Again, this is 1.5 involving conversion question. So these are 4 parts and these are the answers. So let's again do first part for clarification. The first part is 6400 kilometer, and this 6400 we have to change it into a scientific notation. So the point lies at the end, so it is shifted here by moving 3 places towards left. So it can be written as 6.4 times transfer plus 3. So this is how to convert any notation into scientific notation. You can do B, C and D yourself. Question 1.6 relating to zero error. Here the example of vernier calipers is given, and it is given that 4th division of the vernier scale is coincides with the one of the main scale division. So we have to find zero error and zero correction. Here you note that the 0 of the main scale is on the right, so it's a positive 0. So zero error is obtained as we just got the idea in previous lecture. We are to multiply coinciding division with least count of the vernier, that is 0.01 centimeter. So it is 0.04 centimeter. So it's a positive zero error, and as you know, for making the correct measurement you have to subtract this value from the final D. So zero correction is if you subtract this value from the whatever the value is measured. That's why this is the zero correction. So this is the zero error and this is the zero correction. 1.7 is related to screw gauge. Here we are having 50 divisions on the circular scale. So the pitch of the screw gauge is given as 0.5 millimeter, and we are to find the least count. So as we know, the least count is pitch divided by number of divisions on a circle scale, and as it is given the pitch is 0.5 divided by 50 number of units. So 0.5 millimeter in numerator mean upstairs and 50 is in denominator or downstairs. So 0.5 divided by 50 equal 0.01 millimeter. Generally, we are to have the least count of the screw gauge in millimeter, like 0.01 millimeter. But as the answer is in centimeter, so we have to express millimeter into a centimeter. So least count in centimeter is 0.01 centimeter. 1.8, here we are to find out that which option is having 3 significant figures. Here in part A, how many significant figures are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 significant figures. So this is not a correct option. Here, let's see, these zeros on the left hand side, here these zeros are not significant. So it gets how many significant figures? 3 significant figures. You can also understand it if you convert it into a scientific notation. So how to convert it into a scientific notation? Bring this point here after 3. So how many places you have to take this decimal point towards right? 3 places. So it can be written as 3 into 3.09 into transfer minus 3 kg. So these numbers along with 10 raised power are always significant. So this is the simple way to note down the number of significant figures. So if you convert any notation into a scientific notation as I converted here, you can get these digits as significant digits. So come to C. Here again it is already in a scientific notation 5.05 in transfer minus 27. So how many significant digits are there? 3. So this is the correct option. And in D we are having 4 significant figures because this trailing 0 means 0 along with decimal point are always significant. So the correct option is B and C. So dear students, B and C option is having 3 significant figures. Again in 1.9 we are to find out significant figures in the following measurement. So A is having 4 significant figures, B is having 3 significant figures because these leading zeros are not significant. So these 3 digits are significant. Or alternatively, you can convert it into a scientific notation to know how many significant figures are there, as I did in a previous 1.8 question. Again, this C is having how many significant figures? 3 here. And D is having 4 significant figures. Dear students, this is the last numerical 1.10. Here it is given a chocolate wrapper is 6.7 centimeter long and 5.4 centimeter wide. If I draw it, it's a rectangular wrapper. So the length is 6.7 centimeter and the width is 5.4 centimeter. And we are to find the area and we are to express into a suitable reasonable number of significant. So you know, area of this rectangle is obtained by area equal just multiply length with width, and as we know the length is 6.7 times width is 5.4. Now if you multiply these two, you would be having 36.18, and as 2 centimeters are being multiplied, so we get square centimeter. So this is the area. But as we require to change the result into a reasonable number of significant figures, so in this notation there are 4 significant figures, but we know that both sides are having 2 significant figures. The concept is, if 2 things are being multiplied, then we are to note which notation is having lower number of significant figures. As both are having same mean, lower number of significant figures are 2. So we are to convert this area into number of significant figures should be reduced to 2, and for that we are to round off it. So after rounding it, we get area equal 36 square centimeter. So the reasonable number of significant figures in an answer are 36, 2 significant figures. So dear students, this is the last lecture for unit number 1, titled as Physical Quantities and Measurement. In this discussion, for this chapter we had 6 lectures, and this is the last discussion for unit number 1, and we talked about some theoretical concepts along with the solving of the exercise of the unit number 1. Dear students, we have completed 2 weeks for discussion, and next lecture would be the for 3rd week. We would be starting with unit number 2, kinematics. So we have completed unit number 1. Hopefully these lectures, 6 lectures, 3 in week 1 and 3 in week 2, would be very helpful for you for learning. So good luck for the learning physics, and we would be having next meeting with unit number 2 in week 3 with next lecture. Okay, goodbye.